Hi guys, how are you? Everything's happening all at once here. I just want to say, hey, today is a great day. And one of the reasons being is because we're kind of getting a sense, one, we got a great guest who's Farley Malorrus, and we'll introduce him. I think the name's probably real familiar to you. He's a big guy in the world of astrology.
What's that name again? Farley Malorrus?
You sure you got it right?
I'm quite sure I got it right. But I tell you what, one of the things that I wanted to put out to you guys is that, you know what, any question that you have to ask is the kind of question that needs to be answered. Because when we first got started in this world of personal computers, we decided that one of the approaches we wanted to take was one of discovery. And the opportunity is to ask a lot of questions. And so when we open this up with Farley, he's going to talk about games and being involved in games and playing those. But, call and ask any kind of questions. I'm going to ask him a lot of questions, so you might as well take advantage of it too. And how you guys doing today?
I'm doing great today. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing just fine. We have lots of things coming up on the show. Don't forget about the contest.
Right.
We're still looking to give away a computer, guys. So if anybody is interested in having another computer around, listen to our show. And dinner for two. Don't forget about that.
That's right. So we want to say stay tuned to everything, and we'll be right back after this.
If Lotus had given you just one, a spreadsheet that's up to 50 times faster than other spreadsheets with every statistical and financial formula you'll ever need and the largest workspace on the market, that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just two, information management to store and organize information with the ability to cross-index over 2,000 records by 23 criteria and use information from other programs and computer systems, that would have been enough. And if Lotus had given you just three, graphics to graph information from your spreadsheet in less than 2 seconds and change that information. Touch a key and graph the new results instantly. Graphics as a thinking tool. That would have been enough. But Lotus has given you more. Text editing, tutorials, a help key, and a host of features which give Lotus 123 its power and simplicity. Lotus 123 is available at the Software Spot, 10977 Santa Monica Boulevard in West Los Angeles, or phone 213-477-7561. That's 213-477-7561. The Software Spot, the oldest independently owned and operated software store in Los Angeles, a soft sell dealer.
Don't let the music stop. We go ride it till we just can't ride it no more.
Hi, this is Ellen, and I'm in the news corner here at the famous Computer Cafe. According to a recent issue of USA Today, certain California educators are saying that by the end of the 1980s, most colleges will expect entering freshmen to know at least one computer language and to have basic keyboard abilities. Richard Hamblin of Cal Poly was quoted as saying that students without computer literacy skills will not have access to key reference material. Hamblin added that what universities once viewed as computer skills students should have upon graduation, they will soon be required to have upon entrance to the university. Anyone out there interested in parapsychology? Well, there's a new bulletin board for you out of Denver, Colorado called SciNet, run by parapsychologist William Tedder. According to Tedder, the bulletin board is available for all people who want to explore ESP, psychic abilities, and any other related matters. The bulletin board also provides a program, written in BASIC, that assists in dream interpretation. In addition, this bulletin board offers Zeus, an online educational network that provides a variety of non-credit courses for the participant. All this information and more is available to readers of a bulletin board newsletter called Plum, published out of Herod Creek, Kentucky. Earlier this week, students at Oberlin College in Ohio staged a protest using the library computer and the school's main computer. In order to protest the school's ownership of stock in companies doing business with South Africa, students checked out 1,500 books from the library compared to the usual 200 and ran elaborate programs in an effort to bring the computers to a halt. According to John Harvith, director of College News Services, the computer systems were not affected. In Chicago, two 15-year-olds were charged with theft of $21,000 of computer equipment from their high school. The two students told police that they used their own home computers to advertise the goods at lower prices on electronic bulletin boards. According to Online Today, James Fawcett, former executive editor of Personal Computing, has been named InfoWorld's new editorial director and associate publisher. Fawcett will be replacing Stuart Alsop, who left InfoWorld last month. Alsop is starting his own newsletter called Stuart Alsop's PC Letter. How's that for originality? The first issue will be available in January, and 24 issues will cost you $295 for the year. That's all for the news, and now to Andy over at the Bulletin Board.
Thanks, Ellen. The Tech Fair, a recruitment forum for computer and engineering professionals, is being held today at the Pacific Hotel at 6161 Centinela Avenue in Culver City. Approximately 50 Fortune 1000 companies, say that 3 times fast, will be represented, and you're encouraged to bring copies of your resume and be prepared for an interview. For more information, please call 213-410-3912. That's 213-410-3912. If you have an upcoming event which you'd like to post on the bulletin board here at the Famous Computer Cafe, please let us know. Our address is the Famous Computer Cafe, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. We'll be back with Michael and Farley after this commercial message.
It's like another perfect day. I love LA.
Bank Street Writer by Broderbund is the one-word processing program that's unpretentious enough to be used at home by both children and adults, yet is sophisticated enough to meet most small business needs, too. Bank Street Writer is packed with powerful features that have made it the most popular home word processing program in the world. There are no complex codes to memorize. Directions are at the top of the screen every step of the way. Bank Street Writer gives you sophisticated features like automatic word wrap, universal search and replace, automatic centering, and easy storage and retrieval of anything you write, complete with password protection. Bank Street Writer also comes complete with a special tutorial on the back of the disc that teaches the basics of word processing. A comprehensive reference manual and a free backup disc are also included. Want to try your hand at Bank Street Writer? Then follow your feet down to Strictly Software at 14617.5 Prairie Avenue in Lawndale, or you can call 213-970-1242. Strictly Software, a soft sell dealer.
Well, welcome to the Famous Computer Cafe, guys, and I want to say welcome to Farley. How are you doing, Farley?
I'm really proud to be here. You know, I've been on a lot of radio stations. I've been listening to your show. A lot of my listeners are out there right now. You know, I have my own astrology show on KFox every day, Monday through Friday, 12 noon to 1 o'clock, and work for K-Rock Astrologer, and I think we have thousands of people out there. I hope they're into games and computers, because now I understand you're making me the game master here in the Famous Computer Cafe.
We're definitely looking at that. I think you're one of the craziest guys I know. So I want to, before we even get started, I want to open up the line so that everybody can ask you questions. In L.A., it's 628 KIEV. San Fernando Valley, 989 KIEV. Glendale, 956 KIEV. San Gabriel Valley, 443 KIEV. South Bay, 835 KIEV. And, of course, everybody down in Orange County and San Diego. No, not San Diego yet, but Orange County, 714-739 KIEV.
And,
Go ahead.
What I was saying is, every day, I have 2 Apple IIes that I use to process all the astrology software we use on the radio shows. But I need a lot of therapy. And I know all of us, you and I and Andy and all the little guys out there, were playing toy soldiers when we were kids.
Right.
Now, there's a favorite of mine who I think is one of the brightest programmers in history, Silas Warner, who wrote Castle Wolfenstein and Beyond Castle Wolfenstein, which is what we're going to talk about today, because frankly, I am literally addicted to it. I don't know whether I have this problem with Hitler and the SS in World War II, whether I get off on killing Germans, whether I like finding war plans and trying to escape the castle, or whether you just like in Beyond Castle Wolfenstein, you actually put a bomb in the quarters where Hitler is sitting there, try to blow him up and get out of the maze before it does blow up. So, but in Castle Wolfenstein, of course, it's a takeoff on Where Eagles Dare with Clint Eastwood and Burt.
Whatever that guy's name is.
Whatever he is. God bless him.
You know something? It's incredible. I think there's got to be a certain level of having the ability to release your aggressions on some of these games, too, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, in astrology, we call it a Scorpio factor, whereas everybody builds up tension, and God knows when we're on the computers all day long, we really need the ability to channel a lot of the stress and energy from a lot of that buildup. And Castle Wolfenstein is a game on, I think it's on Apple, on Atari, on Commodore, just about anything you can get. IBM too. And it's the greatest game because you get the audio, you get the Vasislos, you get the Halt and the Kamerad, and they actually talk to you. And the interesting part about it is that if you make one mistake, you're dead. You cannot make any mistakes in Castle Wolfenstein or beyond, because if you get shot or even if you get touched in any game, if they grab you, you're dead and the game's over. So it really does take a lot of master working ability to be able to beat those games.
What I'm going to want to do is let's back up just a bit, because I'm going to want to get into Castle Wolfenstein, especially I understand you're like one of the game masters in that area. But what is the difference? I hear there's text adventure type games, there's graphic games, there's the shoot 'em up arcade style video games. Give me a basic understanding so that I kind of know in which realm we're talking.
Okay, we're talking about the joystick maze version. I believe Castle Wolfenstein, Beyond Castle Wolfenstein, and Aztec are the three best games on the market for joystick maze, whereas you can go from room to room. There's a lot of high res in each room you go in. There's a lot of things going on, and the best part is you can get killed easy. So if you're not careful, if you're touched by a snake like in Aztec, or if you run into a dinosaur or a dragon, you're dead. So really, like the thing with Castle Wolfenstein, Michael and Andy, is that I'm a field marshal, and you can count the field marshals in this country on probably two hands.
I mean, you're talking to like an advanced player.
Right. If you get out of the maze with the plans and you escape, then you go from private to corporal.
Yeah.
And every time you get out of one maze, there's more SS, there's more traps, there's more people trying to shoot you, more people, like you can get a uniform and a vest. The vest stops the bullets. The uniform fools every soldier unless they have an SS on their vest. Forget it. The SS will chase you out of rooms into other rooms. Sometimes you can have 4 or 5 different SS officers in one room. They're throwing grenades at you. Now you're talking to a guy here, and I'm not patting myself in the back, but I got out of private, corporal, sergeant, major, corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, colonel, general, and field marshal, and I played field marshal on a regular basis every day. And if you don't get out, Michael, you'll get demoted. If you get caught early, then you will get demoted back down to a lower rank.
What's it really take to get involved in these kind of games, other than, okay, you go and purchase the game? But, it seems like a lot of people, when they get into some of these more advanced type of games, get lost. Like, you get started and you got to find your way through, and you have to move in and out and all that kind of thing. But hold on to that, okay?
Okay.
Because we got to take a break. But I'm going to want to know how you do this thing, okay?
All right.
We'll be right back after this commercial message, guys.
Whether today's your first day at the famous Computer Cafe or you're a real regular who hangs out every night at the Space Bar, you can't help but see that this joint is jumping. And if it looks busy to our customers, you can imagine what's going on behind the scenes. Absolute craziness. So we're looking for some help. Before the end of the year, we're planning on hiring people to assist us in running the famous Computer Cafe. We're looking for part-time, full-time, and freelance people who are bright and energetic. You must have a passionate interest in personal computers, but you don't have to be a technical wizard. You must be able to write, review products, or sell advertising, or any combination of the above. And you must contact us in some way. So get out your pen or your keyboard and I'll tell you how. First of all, you can call or write. If you're interested in a sales position, I'd like you to call me, Ellen, at 213-394-7242. That's 394-7242. Have to learn to talk slower. If you're interested in writing or reviewing products, then I'd like you to write to me, Ellen, at the famous Computer Cafe, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. Make sure to include a writing sample and a resume. The cafe is a great place to eat and hang out, and there's a lot of wonderful people here, but it's an even better place to work. So call or write us today.
From the valley to the valley, from the west side to the east side, everybody very happy.
Farley, I know you want to tell me all the ins and outs of the game, but before we get, most of the audience probably plays some of the games, and then there's a lot of people who don't know about the games. And of course, the lines are open for people to give a call. In LA, it's 628 KIEV, in Glendale 956 KIEV, and in Orange County 714-739 KIEV. I really want to get to these questions. give me a basic difference between a text adventure type game and like yours is a joystick operated game. What's that really mean?
Well, a text game is very hard because you're dealing with riddles. You're dealing with, if you don't give the right statement, if you don't type the correct statement in to a game like Zork or certain games that if you don't put it, you just don't go any further. Whereas in a game like Castle Wolfenstein, you're not looking at a Pac-Man type thing. If you run into the walls here in Castle Wolfenstein, your high-res screen will explode for a few seconds because if you don't have that joystick down just perfect, then you're going to have a problem because there are certain angles you have to move. Now, you can keep going with a joystick maze game, whereas with a text game, you can sit there all night long. God help me. I mean, I've sat there sometimes for hours trying to get through Zork, and I just don't know what the program wants. So I stay away from the text games, and I have, like I say, I'm a field marshal in Wolfenstein, and I'm an elite strike force spy in Beyond Wolfenstein, which is like the highest rank there too.
What are some of the other games that you've been playing in order to get a sense to play these kind of games?
Well, Aztec is really a takeoff on Indiana Jones, on Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I love that because I am a sort of an astrologer and an archaeologist type traveling guy with the, around the world cruise ship affairs and such. Aztec is really a great game because it is Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom, and you have to go get that idol and get out of there. And I'm at the 8th level. Now, the best score you can get in Aztec is 1,000,000, and I don't know anyone that's got that. I've got $986,000 for the idol in that game, which has blown a lot of people away because it's just, Michael, it's so, I can't explain to you. If you get 3 strength points. If you get bit by a snake, or if you get bit by an alligator or a tiger or a spider, those 3 points are history and you're dead.
And now, you're gone.
But there's a secret to Aztec that no one knows about. See, because you can save any game in Aztec you want. You can be right at the bottom with the idol and go, good, I like this, I've got bullets, I've got a gun, I got a machete, I can go ahead and save this game, get killed in the next frame, and then start the game over and resume it right at that point where you got killed.
Oh, so you can save it, so you don't have to fall all the way back to the very beginning and start all the way over and all those things.
So when I play Aztec, I'm constantly putting myself in a better position and saving the game, then resuming, and then if I should get killed, reboot it, hit the part where it says new game, then it gives you a choice to resume a saved game. You resume it where you were, and that way you can get out of the... Otherwise, it's impossible to get out of the pyramid.
Now, you're an adult man. Are there a lot of guys out there, a lot of people who are really into games, or are you just kind of far out?
Well, I coach a little league team of 11 to 14-year-olds, and I know people that are from 20 to 40 that I would actually have to agree, not only is this therapy and consciousness expanding, but if you can get out of Castle Wolfenstein more than once, I'd have to guarantee you it will expand your IQ and your awareness. So this is not for the squeamish, this type of stuff. These games are hard stuff.
Hold on, we have a call. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Michael. Pretty good.
How you doing?
Okay. I wanted to ask Farley if Castle Wolfenstein was available for the Macintosh yet.
Castle Wolfenstein, to my knowledge, they're working on a version for the Macintosh. It's not out yet. It is available for everything else, unless you know different, Michael. I'm not sure. I know Transylvania is probably the best game for Macintosh that I have ever seen. Do you have Transylvania?
No, I don't have that one either.
Well, the high res on the Macintosh, one of the best games you could ever see on any computer is Transylvania. It's text and graphics, and it's hard tests because you're dealing with vampires and werewolves, and if you don't know exactly how to get the bullet or exactly how to get the cross, and they're hidden in certain places. There's a book Michael has that offers tremendous suggestions for Transylvania, or a lot of those text games. It's called the Book of Adventure Games by Kim Schutt, and I know for a fact it's over there at Software Supermarket in West LA, because that's where I got a copy, on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay, one other question.
I mean, Software Spot. Go ahead.
One other question. Who's the Wizard of Frobaz?
The Wizard of Frobaz? Is that somebody in wizardry, I think?
No, I think it's Zork.
Zork? Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something. I am so frustrated with that game, I didn't want to break my computer. The only people I know that have got through Zork 1, 2, and 3 have IQs that just skyrocket and break off the barrier completely.
I heard that there was a book out now to help you solve some of those adventure games. Have you seen anything on that?
Yeah, that's the book. We just gave it to you. The Book of Adventure Games by Kim Schutt, and that'll help you get through Zork.
All right, thanks a lot, Farley.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks for calling, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.
SuperCalc 3 by Sourcem is a spreadsheet that's extremely easy to use, swift and powerful, and it's priced lower than most other leading spreadsheet programs. SuperCalc 3 has all the built-in functions expected in a high-quality spreadsheet and a lot more. SuperCalc 3's features include an on-screen help function, spreadsheet consolidation and sorting capabilities, calendar and date calculations, simple data management functions, and windowing. The integrated graphics capability is superbly presented, allowing plotting and printing of charts in up to 99 colors. SuperCalc 3 provides you with the ability to create pie charts, bar charts, line charts, and XY graphs. The graphics are integrated into the command structure, so once you learn SuperCalc 3, plotting and graphing the results of your calculations is as easy as pie. To get a taste of the simplicity and power of SuperCalc 3, walk into Simply Software, where they'd love to whip up a quick demonstration. Simply Software is located at 3001 Sepulveda Boulevard in Manhattan Beach, or call 213-546-2467. Simply Software, a soft sell dealer.
Look at that mountain. Look at those trees. Look at that bum over there, man. He's down on his knees.
Farley, you know, when it comes to games, I mean, you're talking about for the serious-minded computer person, you know, those heavy-duty technical people who get involved in personal computers. You're saying that you guys actually have fun.
Well, you know, Michael, as far as I'm concerned, if you have a computer and you don't make full use of it, then you're making a mistake. When one of my 2Es is printing data all day long, the other one's either got Wolfenstein or Computer Baseball or Germany 1985 or Aztec or something going, because I like to play those games. They relax me. They're hard. They do make you smarter. And I'm telling you, your most intelligent children, the most intelligent kids out there that are listening know what I'm talking about, because it really does make you, you know, if you can get out of a Castle Wolfenstein maze, it helps you solve the serious problems of life, really.
No kidding.
Because you need so many variables to get out of that castle alive. Imagine being stuck in a real castle during a war and having to get out. You know, it's got to ring in somewhere, or actually a business problem, a problem in school, any kind of problem solving at all is really solved by a lot of these computer games. And you got to imagine the animals, the type of people that write these games, Michael, are so far out in consciousness. Imagine Silas Warner. This guy has got to be able to create a game with German context in there. I mean, they talk completely German in there. Ausweis means show me your pass, and was ist los is what are you doing here, and halt means stop, and then kaputt means you're dead. And you actually pick up some German, you pick up some language when you play the games too, and you end up usually killing half the German army and usually blowing up Hitler on top of it. So it's a really big ego trip. You know, it's like you can win World War II playing one of these games.
Did you get started in games with like playing video games?
Yeah, I'm another champion in a game called Omega Race. I'm one of the masters in that game nationally, worldwide. I can't play almost any video game except Omega Race because I've gone well into 1,500,000 in that game, and only a few have penetrated that. But my friend Steve Goldner got me off of Intellivision and onto Apple computers about 3 years ago, and since then I'm Apple all the way. I'm just completely into it.
Before we actually got you on the air, you and I had talked a little bit about games and the fact that there were so many people who were using games and playing games even in their companies and on business. I mean, is that really true? Do you think that there's that much game playing going on after the people finish their work or even before they finish?
Well, we're talking about really alternatives to dealing with problems in society. A lot of people like to get loaded and laid back, wasted out, and I think a harmless game like a computer game, which is an excellent distraction to the daily pressures. Like imagine I have a speed demon in my Apple, and I can play a full World Series of computer baseball in about 45 minutes. I'm talking about the St. Louis Cardinals, world champions from like 78, I believe, against the New York Yankees from like 2 years ago. I can play an entire 7-game series with my speed demon in 45 minutes. And I'm talking to you, you know, no matter what problems I have, if I sit down there and use my computer to play a game like that, or I get involved in one of these war games, I'm able to channel a lot of stress. It helps me figure out my daily problems, because when I get done with the game, sometimes I'm mellow enough, or it's almost like meditation, you know, Michael?
Well, you know, we don't have a whole lot of time, and I want to pick your brains for some of the people have asked before we got on the air. Can you ask them some ideas for Christmas time, some different kind of games? And give me a range for let's say the 6 to 12-year-old kind of kid who might really get into some games, and then maybe the 12 to 18-year-olds, and then adults, and then give me some game ideas for Christmas time.
Well, Last Gladiator by Electronic Arts seems to be a favorite of 6 to 12-year-olds. It's hard, but your smarter 6 to 12-year-olds, you're in an arena and you're dealing with several creatures, and you have different kind of weapons depending which level you're on to beat that. Of course, Miner 2049er is great until you get to those many different steps segment, and that's literally impossible to conquer. Only a few have conquered it. Droll is an excellent game for the young kids too. That's hard. One-on-one, anybody can play, because you can play 7 levels. You can either shoot 3 points with Larry Bird, or you can do flying skyhooks with Dr. J in that one. So I like those for almost any age group. When you start talking 12 to 18-year-old, then you're getting into your higher level games like the Castle Wolfenstein, the Aztec, computer baseball. If you like sports, computer quarterback is excellent. It's unbelievably excellent. I love that game.
Is that for the IBM PC or also for the Apple?
I believe computer quarterback is in the Atari, the Commodore, and the Apple. I think they're working on an IBM for that one too. That's one thing about the Apple. It does blow everyone away in game availability. Now, business software might not be the best, but Apple, I think it's like 10 to 1 as far as available games for Apple. So yeah, I do like Miner 49er if you have a lot of patience. The Flight Simulator 2, if you have a speed demon or something that'll make your computer run faster, is one of the best things around if you can handle understanding the documentation. You're actually flying a plane in that thing, Michael.
I know, it's incredible. You actually get a sensation of flying an airplane, and I've seen some other things over at the software spot that are just, that are out for the Apple too. The graphics and the graphic capabilities of these software games are just incredible. Valerie, Farley, you know that was going to happen, didn't you?
Farley, when you go to the software spot, for crying out loud, tell them you heard about us here on the Famous Computer Cafe. Mention that. And Choplifter is another great game for the kids too.
That's right. I really appreciate you being here, and you know what? We're going to have to talk about you being a regular, because you just have so much energy and neat ideas. Thanks a lot.
You got it, Mike.
Start with the world's best-selling database system. Give it enhanced features, make it faster, more powerful, and easier to use, and you have the makings of a software heavyweight. DBase 3, Ashton Tate's hot new package for your 16-bit PC. With DBase 3, you can create records of up to 128 fields, access 10 files at once, and run other programs like communications or word processing without leaving DBase 3. You can read non-DBase files from other software programs or mainframe databases, and you can easily convert your DBase 2 files and programs to DBase 3. If you get stuck, help is at your fingertips with multiple help screens. And where do you go to see this powerful new program? Go see David and Betty Sun at Sun Computers in Carson. They'd love to tell you everything you need to know about DBase 3 and more. Sun Computers in Carson is located at 20925 South Bonita in Carson, or call 213-538-8338. That's 213-538-8338. Sun Computers in Carson, a soft sell dealer.
As our way of thanking all our new listeners here at the Famous Computer Cafe, we're giving away a free Commodore 64 computer and a dinner for two at one of the loveliest restaurants in all of Los Angeles, just in time for the holidays.
And all you need to do is send us a card with your name, address, phone number, and the name and the type of personal computer you currently own or would like to own. Send all this information to the Famous Computer Cafe giveaway. 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401. That's the Famous Computer Cafe giveaway, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401.
We'll be putting all the cards in a hat and drawing 2 winners, which we'll announce on the air on December 17th. First prize, a brand new Commodore 64 computer. Second prize will be dinner for 2 at one of LA's favorite restaurants. So send your entries today to the Famous Computer Cafe giveaway, 1322 2nd Street, Suite 24, Santa Monica, California, 90401.
Enter today. Well, we want to thank everybody who helped make this show possible. Of course, our guest, Farley Malorrus. We want to thank Steve, our engineer.
Yay!
Hey, Steve.
We also want to thank our listeners.
Most definitely.
And I want to
listeners.
apologize to our listeners because I told you that Timothy Leary would be on tomorrow, and he won't. He'll be on a week from tomorrow. So tomorrow's guest is Jerry Schwartz, who is a fascinating gentleman who used to work for an aerospace company building rockets, and now he builds computers for the blind. So that should be real interesting. And then on Thursday, we've got a gentleman named Michael Brinda who's going to talk about what do you do after you buy your PC.
We're also going to have Stephen Roberts tomorrow, who's going to be calling in from On the Road. And Thursday, John Dvorak, who writes column for InfoWorld, will be calling in.
We want to say thanks for listening. Have yourself a really nice evening and a nice, safe drive home. And come back tomorrow.
Don't forget to send in your entry for the computer contest.
Most definitely.
Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.